Welcome each one of you to this beautiful occasion once again, and we are truly fortunate to have gathered today in the presence of our Swamiji to attend this auspicious one-of-a-kind event. To put things in perspective, Harikatha is regarded as one of the oldest storytelling traditions of the Indian subcontinent that is still in existence, and it is composed of storytelling, music, dance, drama and philosophy. Please welcome Srimati Veena Mohan. She is a trained Bharatanatyam, Carnatic music, theatre and Harikatha artist. She has been presenting Harikatha since 2001 in English, Kannada and English-Tamil combination in all major cities in the US and also in India. She has covered a wide range of stories including Bhakta Prahlada, Devi Mahatmyam, Maya Bazar, Andal Kalyanam, Bhishma Pitamaha, Saint Tyagaraja Swami and many more. All her live programs are popular and so well appreciated all over the world that she started presenting Harikathas with the goal of one program in a year. But now she's presenting one or two in a month. Mrs. Veena Mohan's Harikatha videos are available in YouTube under, if you search Veena Mohan Harikathe with an E at the end. And Mrs. Veena Mohan is a speech pathologist by profession, working as a consultant in New Jersey for the past 27 years. And now the true icing on the cake. Today, Mrs. Veena Mohan will be presenting the story of PA Gurudev in Harikatha format. And this is the second performance of this story after the inaugural one in New Jersey. On behalf of Chinmaya Madhuvan, once again, I would like to warmly welcome Mrs. Veena Mohan. And on violin, we have Ms. Shweta Narasimhan. Shweta is a senior student of late Srimati Gauri Ramakrishnan. She enjoys playing for Carnatic vocal, instrumental, Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi programs around the country and in India. Shweta works to support the growth and development of public school educators in Philadelphia. Welcome, Shweta. On harmonium, we have Sri Jeevan Kulkarni. He is a disciple of Sri Rankacharya Joshi of Vijaypura, from whom he has learned both tabla and harmonium. Please welcome Sri Jeevan Kulkarni. On tabla, we have Sri Kannan Raghavan. Sri Kannan is an IT professional with a passion for music and other art forms. Welcome once again, Kannanji. And last but not the least, on vocal support, we have our own Madhuvan Swaraji team members, Chinmaya, Varsha, Advai and Shreya, led by our own Deepta Sukumar. So please sit back, listen, enjoy and be part of the story. Thank you.
Hari Om. Namaste, Namaskaram, Namaskara to all of you. It's an auspicious day. It's an auspicious day because we are going to talk about the life story of our Gurudev. It is such an inspiring story. Honestly, I was expecting all Balvihar kids here because Balvihar kids need to listen to Gurudev's inspiring story. From how a naughty child built so much for the mankind, so much he did for the humanity. Such an inspiring story. Anyway, it is an auspicious day because we have a representation of Gurudev here, right here as Siddhananda Swamiji, right in front of us, to do his Gurudev, our Gurudev story in his presence. Again, it's an auspicious time. Let's go and enjoy Gurudev's story. Again, as part of Harikatha, I always tell, the person who does the Harikatha is called as Dasa. Harikatha Dasa, the one who tells the story, is a servant of God. So, what they say is, if there are people sleeping in the audience, he will go loudly, Govinda! Govinda! So then they will wake up. So, instead of saying, Govinda, Govinda, Gurudev, Gurudev, I'll say, and you have to wake up. I hope we don't get an opportunity to doze off, because the story is like that, and I hope you don't. But if you do, if I say, Gurudev, Gurudev, that means it's for you, the one who is dozing off. So, don't doze off. See, normally in Harikatha used to go on throughout the night. When we were all children, we'll just go sit there at 10 o'clock in the night with some kadala, the peanuts in our hands, and everybody is eating and listening to Katha to keep through the night. So they used to tell lots and lots of, they are called as upakathas, short stories attached to the main story, and they will tell lots of jokes so that people are awake. But since we have very little time, we need that much time for our beautiful music team and for the story. So we won't have any attached stories because time given is very short. So let's start the story with Ganesha Vandana, praying Lord Ganesha first.
ओंकारनाथ रूप गणपा नमिसुव सुमतिय करुणिसु गणपा ओंकारनाथ रूप गणपा नमिसुव सुमतिय करुणिसु गणपा ओंकारनाथ रूप गणपा लंबोदरने अम्बासुतने लंबोदरने
Govinda! I think it should be louder. You're calling Govinda. When you're listening to Harikatha, we are not important. Govinda is important. So, no feeling shy. Lights are dim. We can go loud. Srimad Rama Ramana Govinda! the holy land of India has given rise to many saints, sadhus, gurus. Few of them are visionaries. We all know that when dharma or the goodness declines, Lord sends its masters to revive the culture. These masters, they are the pioneers. For example, Sri Veda Vyasa was a pioneer. He documented Sanatana Dharma and about the eternal truth from the spoken to the written format. Adi Shankaracharya, he systematized this information, made it into a compact ideology by giving rationale to it. Swami Vivekananda, again a pioneer, he brought the information about this eternal truth, about our Sanatana Dharma outside of India. And Swami Chinmayananda Saraswati brought this information not only to outside of India, but to every town, every village, every home, to every common person in a simple format, in a simple language that a common man can understand. These are the pioneers. Swami Chinmayananda Saraswati changed the life of millions of people, whoever came in contact with him. In the early part of 20th century, India was in the corner of a troubled place. India had suffered due to world wars, due to invasions, due to famines, and due to the British rule. During that time, a pioneer, a master was sent on this earth. He's a Yuga Purusha who was born in the year, anybody knows? 1916, on May 8, 1916, in Ernakulam, this Yuga Purusha was born. His life story demonstrates to us how a great man emerged from a naughty child after going through stages of atheism, patriotism, finally attaining the spiritual enlightenment under the guidance of Pujya Shivananda Maharaj and Sri Tapovan Maharaj. His life story is an inspiration to one and all. He was a great Vedanta teacher. He was a great teacher of Upanishads, of Bhagavad Gita, with his motto, I want to make every Hindu a better Hindu. Once he started teaching the Vedanta all over the world, he said learning Vedanta not only makes a Hindu a better Hindu, a Christian a better Christian, a Muslim a better Muslim. On the whole, it is going to make a human a better human. His humor, he was very popular for his humor, jokes. On the spot, he would create jokes. But even while making those jokes, he would give information. Once, like a gynecologist just got introduced to him, and then she came and asked, Swamiji, I just got introduced to you. I'm a gynecologist. I deliver babies. But what do you do? What do you do? She asked him. He smiled and said, you bring life to this world. I take the life out of this world. Once a young doctor came to Gurudev and, so Gurudev gave him Bhagavad Gita and said, listen, Read chapter number 12 twice a day for 1 month. If the symptom persists, repeat the dose or increase the dose. He also said, cultured people give happiness wherever they go, and uncultured people, they give happiness whenever they go. Right? And he gave hundreds and hundreds of jnana yajnas. He wrote hundreds and hundreds of books. Okay, but what else did he do? I was thinking about how to say this in a creative way. Most of you in India have gone to restaurants in olden days, not now. Now it's all digital. They just give you, you can scan on your menu card on your phone, and then you decide what you want to order. In olden days, when you go to a restaurant, they will ask, what do you want? And the waiter will come. He will have everything memorized, what they have. Butter naan, gali naan, chili naan, onion naan, gali naan, plain paratha, gobi paratha, moli paratha, onion paratha, paneer paratha, masala paratha, aloo gobi, aloo matar, dum, aloo gobi, aloo matar, gobi matar, pea matar, masala dosa, maiko dosa, paneer dosa, andhra masala, onion rava, masala rava, manjeera, tomato rava, coffee, tea, Horlick, what do you want? So in the same way, he was asking, I think, he wrote books, he did jnana yajnas, he did discourse, but what else did he do? How about if we say this the same way? Chinmaya jnana yajna, Chinmaya Devi group, Chinmaya Balvira, Chinmaya Yuvakendra, Chinmaya Pitama Sadhana, Chinmaya Manapata Sadhana, Chinmaya Sandhi Sadharanya, Chinmaya Ashram, Chinmaya Temple, Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Chinmaya Vidyat Program, Chinmaya International School, Chinmaya Institute of Man, Chinmaya Rural Development, Chinmaya Hospital, Chinmaya Nursing, Chinmaya International Foundation, Chinmaya Vibhuti, Chinmaya Nadavindu, Chinmaya Mission, Balavihar, Yuvakendras. List goes on, right? Isn't this, as I said, it's an auspicious day. Who did all of this? We have all assembled to learn about Gurudev, to know more and more about Gurudev. Let's do a small quick bhajan which our Swamiji wrote on Gurudev, and then go into the story in detail. Pranam the southern part, the green land, called Emerald Land, the Kerala state, which gave birth to great pioneers like Adi Shankaracharya, Swami Chattambi Swamigal, Sri Narayana Tirtha, Sri Ramana Maharshi, Sri Tapovan Maharaj, was ready to receive another pioneer, another master in Ernakulam on May 8th, 1916. It was the end of a hot summer day. To the whispering waves and to the cool breeze in Ernakulam, there was an addition of a cry of a newborn baby. To Vadakkai Kuruppat Kuttan Menon and Parukutti Amma. The parents looked at this bright child, their first child, to a male child, bright. They beamed with happiness. How lucky Parukutti Amma must be, looking at this beautiful bright child in the cradle, on her lap. She felt she was just like Mother Yashoda, holding on to baby Krishna. She sang for the baby a lullaby. On the fourth day, this baby was named by Chattambi Swamigal as Putampalli Balakrishna Menon, lovingly called as Balan. After Balan, he got two more sisters later on, Padmini and Kanakan. This Chattambi Swamigal, the one who named this baby, himself was a great scholar. He was a great yogi, a social reformer. After the baby was born to Parukutti Amma, this Chechambi Swamigal started coming to this house more and more often, like as though this magnet is pulling him. He used to come and then he used to give special attention to this baby. And he would play with this baby all the time. And then he would hold the baby on his chest when he is lying down and talking to him in a strange language to him. One day, Parukutti Amma was so surprised and she asked him, "Tangal endana ennoda maganoda samsarikkunnathu? Enakku onnum manasilagunilla." He said, "What are you talking? You are talking in a strange language. I am not understanding anything. What are you talking to him?" Then Chettambi Swamigal replied, "Ada nee angal Tamilulla karyam. Nee onnu pedaganda ketto. Avanukku ellam manasilavum. He will understand everything. This is between me and him. We have a strange language. And I have taught him everything." And he would tell Parukutti Amma, "Nee ivanai nannai nokkakollam. Ivan velli aadavum ketto. You have to take care of him nicely, because this child is going to become a great man one day." He used to tell his mother. However, God's wish was different. Parukutti Amma, while giving birth to the third child, she passed away. So young Balin lost his mother at the age of 5. But still, all the children came under the care of his aunt, Kauchi Amma. Though he lost his mother, Balan grew up amidst the extended family of uncles, because it was a joint family, like so many people living in the same house. He got so much of love, affection, like he never felt that he does not have his mother. But the young Balan was very charming, very brilliant, but very, very mischievous too. He was very much interested in reading, swimming, playing badminton. He would always, as young as Balan, he would always tell ideas, jokes on everybody. He was great at mimicking. He would all family members would sit down in the main hall, then he would mimic everybody. He was such a great actor, right from childhood. He went to English modern school and he started learning Malayalam and Sanskrit. And it so happened, in his house there used to be a special thing every day. In the evening, everyone will take second time bath and they have to sit down. All the men and the women, they will chant the 1,000 names of Vishnu Sahasranamam, and 1,000 names of Devi, Lalita Sahasranamam, every day, followed by bhajan, and after that only they will eat. But for Balan, the one who is so active and running around all the time, this whole thing, ordeal of everyday evening that he has to do, he never wanted to do. He never wanted to sit for all these stotrams, which goes on and on for 2 hours, and then he has to sing bhajan, and then only he will get food. He would always tell his auntie, "Amme, enakku idu venda katto. Ithri neelam undu amme. It's so long, you guys take so long. You'll be saying same thing over and over again, amme. Ithri neelam undu. Enakku venda. I don't want this." Then auntie used to go, Kuchi Amma used to go, "Balan, na ivide irukkinnu na paranjadilla. Ivide irukkinnu na paranjadilla Balan. Prarthana illa atthadam ulla katta. If you don't sit down, no dinner, no prarthana, no prayer, no dinner for you." Loves to eat, so he has to sit down for bhajan. And then he would sit down and all the kids would sing together. they would sing together, and especially on Lord Krishna songs.
Chilangai kati, chilangai kati, odi odi vayo. Chilangai kati, odi odi vayo.
Same thing, Balan would say no, and the mama would say yes. Then he said, I must do something. He sat down, and then 2 hours when they're doing Vishnu Sahasranama, what is he going to do? He started looking at all in the guard's room, what is there. On the wall there used to be big picture of Krishna, big picture of Durga, big picture of Murugan, big picture of this, so many guards everywhere. So he started looking. The one which caught his attention was Lord Shiva, Lord Chandrasekhara's picture. So he started looking at them, staring at them. This is very interesting. What's his name? Chandrasekhara. used to start looking at Chandrasekhara, Lord Shiva's picture, and then he started memorizing each and every part of Lord Chandrasekhara. Oh, he has Ganga on top. He has a jata over there, and Bhasma Bhushita. He has Bhasma everywhere, and he has Nagendra on his neck, the snake on his neck, and he has a third eye over here, and he is a Gajacharmambaram. Like this, he started studying this Chandrasekhara's picture, and he would close his eyes. Did I take it correctly? Ganga here, and the snake here. No, snake here. Where else is there? Like this. He would memorize. Look at the picture, memorize. Look at the picture, memorize. But this is what he did every day. So until he got the picture of Lord Chandrasekhara right in his head, as soon as he closes his eyes, the picture of Lord Shiva should come into his mind. Even though he was doing this, lots of questions. Balan was famous for asking questions all the time. Amen, why? Amen, why? Amen, why? Always you say, okay. Amma is doing the bhajans. Amma is doing Vishnu Sahasranam. They used to ask questions in his head himself. Now Shiva had, who is this Lord Shiva? Why does he have a third eye? Why there is the snake in his neck? Why is he wearing a dress like that? Why does he have a spear or Trishulam all the time? He's thinking about killing. Oh, he's killing the deer and he's putting it on his waist. Or he might be doing it. No. That's not deer. That is Gajacharmambaram. That means it's elephant. So he killed an elephant to put the skin on his waist all the time, asking questions and questions and questions. However, Balan was growing up. He went to school, Ramavarma boys' school, every day with other boys at home. He would eat one plate of sambar and rice and then run to the school. He was very good in school, and school subjects were quite easy for him. And he would find time to finish his homework on time, and he would help his sisters, Padmini and Kanakam, in their homeworks also. But wherever Balan went, there was always noise and laughter, happiness around him all the time. But something happened. The boy grew up. He became a teenager. Total east and west now. This questioning mind, he started questioning verbally out. His Kuchiyama would say, go now, this is, again take bath and come back. We have to do bhajan, we have to do Vishnu Sahasranam. Now he's a teenager, he does not have to listen. He said, oh, I have to take bath. He would just go sprinkle some water on his face and then put a different tundal, the different towel on his head and come back. I'm done with the bath. He does not want to go for second. I already had bath in the morning. Why should I have bath again? So he would just sprinkle some water and put some tunda. I'm already done. So when he was a teenager, and everybody in Kerala, it's so hot, they would wear cotton shirts. He said, you're all wearing cotton shirts? I'm wearing silk shirts. You're all not putting so much oil into your hair, but I'm going to put so much oil into my hair. So he would put so much oil into his hair and then stand in front of the mirror and keep on combing his hair. Keep on combing his hair. That would irritate his father so much. Balan, what are you doing? You're putting so much oil that is dripping. Like 1 kg oil you're putting on your head. One day, Balan, you're going to do, there won't be any hair at all. There won't be any hair at all on your head. I'm warning you. You're putting so much, and so much of combing you're doing. He just would not care. He was very arrogant as a teenager. Very arrogant, very questioning, and very irritable behavior. As soon as father says something, he would do something against him. And he started going to college now. Maharaja College, and his father wanted him to, probably wanted, like any other parents, wanted him to be a doctor or something. So, science subject. Balan was never interested in the science subjects. So he never studied, he never did his homework, never paid attention to it, to the academics. And now the examination came, and it's a science exam. So he has not studied, he has not done his homework. Now he's sitting there and everybody is writing. What did Balan do? He looked at the question paper. On the answer sheet, he wrote all the questions back on the answer sheet and he did. That ended his career in science. Father was so worried. Yes, I agree that he is intelligent. Yes, I agree that he is charming. But academically, he is not doing well. What am I going to do? What to do? Then he left Ernakulam and he came to Thrissur. When he came to Thrissur, now he joined a new place. So now he had to go into arts section. No more science. Science thing ended. And so he joined the Thrissur Thomas College. Somehow he completed, and the further studies for degree, he had to go to Lucknow. And somebody asked, Balan, why are you going so far away from Thrissur to Lucknow? He said, answer is simple. I did not get in any of the colleges here. I got it only over there. He always spoke the truth. He was harsh, but he always spoke the truth. He said it openly. I didn't get any college. Nobody wants me here. But anyway, they want me and I'm going there. So he took arts and English major, and he also took some subjects in law. And he went to Lucknow in the year 1940. And he became very, very popular. You know, by this time, Balan was a young adult, and he was very skinny, very tall, very short-featured, and especially very long nose. He had a long nose too, and big popping eyes. He had big popping eyes, and this style of this combing the hair, very tip-top guy. And then he used to he was in the tennis team. Oh, he always wore the white shirt and a white pant, and then, you know, he was a very attractive young man, became very popular in college. And then he was in all kinds of clubs, badminton club, drama club, literary club, debating club, all these clubs, and he's number one in everything. And even he represented his college in his tennis. So he was a very popular guy. That's in 1940. 2 years passed by, and the same time, on the other side in the nation, too many things are going on. Mahatma Gandhi ji had gone and called out for Quit India movement. Quit India movement against the British. There were so many marches, protests, demonstrations, strikes, and everybody was leaving their work and college and school, and they were joining this Quit India movement. How can our Balan sit back? So he quit college, he jumped and joined this Quit India movement. He was very good in his writing, in his English. He started writing pamphlets. He was a good orator right from the beginning. He could speak very well, he could address the audience like anything. And he would stand up on the stage and talk like a politician, and like as though he's going to chase the British away tomorrow. He was a very, very powerful speaker, and he joined the movement. And the movement was taking really in a good space. Everybody was going, दूर हटो, ये हमारा देश है, ये हमारा मुल्क है, दूर हटो ये दुनिया वालों, हिंदुस्तान हमारा है. immediately responded with guns. They shot many freedom fighters. Hundreds, within a week, hundreds got arrested. And of course, they were looking for this leader. किधर है वो मद्रासी? किधर है वो मद्रासी? बहुत बात करता है. पकड़ो उसको. Where is that Madrasi? Catch him, catch him. An arrest warrant was issued against Balin. Now there is no other go. He had to go into hiding. From here, from Lucknow, he ran away to Kashmir. You know, he is from Kerala. Thin, tall, dark-skinned. And in Kashmir, of course he stands out. So he had to always put a shawl around him, grow beard, and go into hiding all the time. Otherwise he would be caught. And it was very difficult to find job, to find food, to find clothing, to find a place to hide. He lived like that, just in hiding in Kashmir for 2 years. Somehow he used to come to Delhi. His college friend Shraf's house, he used to jump out through the compound at the back, and Shraf would give him little money, some fresh clothes and some food. So he would take that, and again he would run away. Like that, in the dark, he had to live for 2 years. And later on, somehow he said, you know, British must have forgotten all about me. It's 2 years now. They don't have memory. They've forgotten about this Madrasi. So he came to Punjab. Somehow he came to Punjab. But in Punjab, as soon as he came, he saw freedom fighters doing the same thing again. Still, we don't have independence at that time yet. It's just 2 more years, 1942 to 44. So he went to Punjab, he saw freedom fighters, he joined the group again. Again, he started doing Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and again he started doing lectures, and again he started doing pamphlets, and again, so British immediately, oh, Madrasi udhar hai, pakdo usko. But this time, they caught him. They caught him and they put him in the prison. The prison life was very, very horrible. There was no food, there was no place. The hygiene, forget about it. Ventilation, forget about it. And every day you would see one of their team members, one of their members in that big hall where all these people were caught and thrown in actually and treated like animals, and one person would be missing. And from the next door they could be hearing someone screaming, someone beating, someone screaming with the pain. He would hear the screams and beating, and so he would see the dead bodies being taken away from the prison. At that time, the thoughts used to occur. Is this life? Is this life? This person was here yesterday, and today he's gone. And what about them? They're beating us. And is this life? And due to no food, hunger, due to no hygiene, the bathrooms were so bad because so many people are supposed to use the same bathroom all the time. And there's no food, there is no cleaning agent, there is no sprays to start cleaning the bathroom, there is no, the wiping cloth, nothing. So Balin became skinnier and skinnier, and he got infection. He got the typhus fever. Now his temperature was very high temperature. He was delirious. He was not able to get up and move around. So these British officers were talking to each other. They said, this man is going to die tonight. Then they called the jail doctor, and the doctor, the Indian guy, said, this man needs to be hospitalized right now because the infection is too much and he's going to die if you do not try. They said, no. All that is going to cost money. What? For this brown skin guy? We have to give him hospital, medication? Who is going to spend the money? So we don't want to send him to hospital. But the doctor said, no, if you don't send him to hospital, this man is going to die tonight right here. So the British officers did not want another lock-up death. The prison, there were so many deaths happening every day, so they decided to throw him on the street. So in the middle of the night, they packed him up in their jeep, and to the outskirts of the city, they threw him. And they went away. Fortunately, in that street, a Christian lady was driving by, and the light fell on Balan's body. She said, oh, someone has fallen down, stop the car. And when she went and looked, for her, by God's grace, to her, he looked like her own son who had recently left the house and joined the army. Balan's face looked like as though it's like her son's face. So she immediately took the help of the driver, picked him up from the street and brought him home. And she started giving medical treatment and everything. And Gurudev writes in his book, Face to Face, he writes, it is my nose that saved me. Because my nose, this long nose of mine, resembled her son's long nose. So she thought that I'm her son. And she took me and she saved me. After he got better, so he decided to move on. He thanked that lady profusely and he left her home and he went to Baroda and to be with his cousin Achyutamanan. Achyutamanan and his wife lived in Baroda. He was a forest officer, so he gave accommodation to Balan to stay, and he writes very lovingly in his book about his days that he spent at his cousin's place, Achyutamanan, and specifically his cook, Narayanan. He writes a lot about Narayanan because Narayanan took care of Balan, prepared the typical food, the Kerala food, the sori, that rice and sambar and curry and all that. He makes the food and he feeds him daily and he takes care of him. And as he got better, then he starts going out and he starts seeing the life under British rule, the life of common people, common man. The one particular person attracted him. He was the shoe cobbler. The shoe cobbler, people of our age remember, not the children, but the shoe cobbler would sit on the street to polish your shoes or to do any repair of your sandals. And he would be watching every day on the street what's going on. But he would still bend his head down and do his job to collect a few paisa polishing someone else's shoes. So he comes home and he starts writing under the name Mochi. Under the name Mochi, he starts writing articles about the life of a common man, how pathetic it is, and what's going on in the outside world. How much is the disparity? He writes under the name of Mochi. And once he gets better, he collects money after writing in the newspaper under the name of Mochi. He makes little money. Now he says, I must go on with my life. He comes back to Lucknow. He finishes his degree in journalism, his master's degree in English literature. And now he moves the center part of India, that is Delhi. In Delhi, he goes and gets a job as one of the sub-editors in the newspaper National Herald. He becomes a journalist, but his desire to participate in the independence movement and his desire to give back something to the community and his capability of expressing very well through articles in the newspapers. He was becoming a popular as one of the most dynamic but controversial reporter. Slowly again, now Balan becomes very popular in their circle, and he starts getting invited to these rich people's clubs because the gentleman is very well orator. He can talk in English very fluently and is dressed like a European, like a British person. The pants and the shirts and the silk shirts and the nicely combed hair and nicely ironed shirts and speaking English. And he could speak on any topic that is there. Like when he goes for the club's parties, like he would be the center of attraction, talking, giving lectures. And he would be, especially if there is talk about the politics, he would be with a loud voice. And the other thing with Balan, now he has a job and he has the capability to talk and he would not be afraid. He would always say, I'm not afraid of anyone. I'm not afraid of anyone. And what is that? Achamille. That means not afraid. He said, I'm not afraid of anything. Not afraid of expressing. Achamille. Achamille. Achamille.
அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை அச்சமென்பதில்லையே அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை அச்சமென்பதில்லையே
அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை அச்சமென்பதில்லையே
அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை அச்சமென்பதில்லையே இச்சகத்துள் ஊரெல்லாம் எதிர்த்து நின்ற போதிலும் அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை அச்சமென்பதில்லையே குற்றவாளி
Can we clap again? One clap to the children, please. He went on giving lectures and lectures without any fear. And more invitation for him to attend these rich people's parties. As he was observing and going to these rich parties, under those expensive clothing and expensive jewelry, and he felt they were all empty talks. And he could also feel there's so much of anger, there is so much of depression, there is so much of despair and distress in their talks. And the insensitivity of these rich people towards the poor people and their life, everything bothered him. Why there is so much of disparity? Why on earth the rich people are treating the poor people? Why there is no compassion in the society? He would feel it. He would feel it, and then he would go back into his old Chandrasekhara. He would call upon his Chandrasekhara and Om Namah Shivaya Mantram, Om Namah Shivaya Mantram, to calm himself down. Those days he used to stay with his uncle, V.K. Menon, and he would express about his distress to his uncle, about all these things that's happening around him. And V.K. Menon was a very good philosopher, and he would read lots of holy books, and then he would talk to him. One day, he happened to mention the name of Ramana Maharshi. Then Balan said, Uncle, Ramana Maharshi, I want to tell you something about it. In 1936, Uncle, when I was at the end of my high school, I got student pass to go in the train, a tour of South India. It's a discounted ticket that I got, and I was traveling. And as I was traveling, I saw all my co-passengers. They all ran to the right side window and they were looking out at a mountain. And they said, hey, that is the center of the globe. That is the center of the globe. That is Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Hill. That is where Ramana Maharshi stays. They were all talking about it. And the word Ramana Maharshi, even though I was an atheist, Uncle, the word Maharshi attracted me. I decided to go, get down from the train, and I wanted to walk up to this hill. Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva. And finally he reached a small hut. It was a very, very hot day. And when he went there were so many villagers sitting, cropped up inside that small hut. And there was some little seat in the front. So he just walked up to the front and there was a seat. He just sat down. He doesn't know where he has come or he doesn't know what he's going to see. So he sat down, and then when he looked up, there was a small stool-like thing, and there was a man sitting top, not wearing anything, just a little bit of cloth around his waist and his eyes closed. He said, who is this? Is this Ramana Maharshi? That's why all these people are sitting. What nonsense. So he was thinking that, and then as he was looking up, the person slowly opened his eyes and he was looking up. Their eyes met. He could not take his eyes off. He felt like Palam's eyes were locked up in those bright eyes. Those eyes were looking deep inside him. What is this? This man is looking deep inside my eyes. No, he's looking deep inside me. I feel I'm cleaned. This man is watching. He knows all about me. He's reading me. He knows everything about me. I can't take my eyes off of him. Now, he's reading me. He's seeing me how my shallowness, my anger, my frustrations, my despair, my confusions. He's seeing everything inside me, the things that I do not know myself. He's cleaning me. He's emptying me. I'm emptied. I'm cleaned. I am cleaned. He's filling me. He's filling me. He's my life gone up in a wave. My life gone up in a wave. What's happening? The man closed his eyes. I sat still. I sat there. Ramana. this? This is not me. This man must be a hypnotist. He did something to me. I'm not being affected by all of this. No. That's not me. This man must be a hypnotist. I should not have come here. Balan left that place. When he returned, he started reading books about our scriptures, about our philosophy, European philosophy. Books by Shivananda Maharaj, books by Vivekananda, books by Ramana Maharshi. And the most attracted to him was Swami Shivananda's books, where he wrote, "Be good, do good, ahimsa paramo dharmaha," follow the path of non-violence. Who wrote, "Control your anger with daya and kshama, forgiveness and compassion. Serve the sick with love." Serving people is like serving God. Balan read all these things. But then his mind was not accepted. All these sadhus and sannyasis, then they only write. They are ready to preach. But they are not the followers of any of this. I'm going to expose all these sadhus. And it's going to be a good article in my journal, in my newspaper. I'm going to make a separate column myself and expose all these sadhus and sannyasis. I'm going to start with this person, Shivananda. I'll go right there where he is. So Balan left from Delhi to Rishikesh. Rishikesh, where Shivanandaji's ashram, Divine Life Society ashram, is located in Rishikesh. It's where the Ganges from the Himalayas touch the plains. That's exactly where Divine Life Society, started by Pujya Shivanandaji, is there. He went there. Shivanandaji Maharaj was a great yoga person, a great yogi, a great scholar. He has written more than 300 books on yoga, on Western philosophy, on health, mythology, fine arts, anthology, you name it. He has written books. And he has this beautiful ashram. Balan comes there and introduces himself. I'm here from the National Herald. I'm the editor, and I'm here to interview your Swamiji. Where is he? Where can I see him? Swamiji was coming from there along with the other devotees, and he stopped. Are you? I've come to interview you. Can you give me the interview? Shivanandaji said, "Nice to meet you. Please stay in our guest house. We will see you tomorrow." What? He stayed in the guest house. You know, he's a journalist, and then this man, Then he started observing Shivananda Maharaj. He has such a busy life. He gets up early in the morning, he teaches yoga classes, batch by batch, and he does satsang, then he sits and writes articles in the magazines, he's writing chapters in the books, and he is writing letters, replying letters to all the devotees. Then he runs a hospital by himself, and then he goes to the hospital, he treats them. In the evening again he has satsang, he does bhajan sandhyas, and then he answers questions of his devotees, whatnot and whatnot. No day is too short to complete his work. And in between of that, he would make tea and bring it to Balan's room. I hope everything is good with you, Mr. Journalist, and have some tea, have some fruits. He would even do that. And the ashram was not what Balan was thinking. It took away his preconceived idea about the spirituality. The ashram was very busy with cultural, spiritual, and social projects going on all the time. But everywhere there was peace. And Shivanandaji's brightness, intelligence, and aura of divinity around him, Balan was spellbound to look at the ashram, to look at the Swamiji, and things that were going on. What interview he's going to do? As he's observing Swamiji and the ashram, Swamiji, Shivanandaji Maharaj, right away must have recognized our Balan's spiritual potential. So he used to make fun of Balan. Ha Balanji, आइए ना हम हमारे साथ, आप भी संन्यास होकर आइए ना, आइए आइए, you also become like one among us. Come on, become a sannyasi. Gradually, something was changing in him. Because whatever happened at Ramana Maharshi's ashram, it was still bothering him, but some change was there. He came back to Delhi, but soon he was called back to Rishikesh as for the 60th birthday of Shivanand Maharaj, and they needed to write a big souvenir, and they wanted a person to do the editorial board. And so he came back to Rishikesh. Now after the birthday celebrations were over, he did not go back immediately. He called his editor. No, I'm still here. I'm still in the process of doing an interview. I'll come. When he came back with lots of books written by Shivanandaji Maharaj. He was a changed man. And he wrote on his journal, in his newspaper, a separate column about the review of books of Shivananda Maharaj. And he said the most thing striking of this man is his confidence and his convincing methods. If he had to convince Balan, he should have really convincing methods. So he said real convincing methods. And it so happened in Delhi. Remember his friend, the one who used to help him a lot, giving money, giving clothes, Shroff? He was suffering from terminal illness. And he passed away. Balan rushes to his friend's house. He's passed away. And his parents are very old to take the asti, to take the ashes to put them in Ganga. So they give asti in a pot and they say, can you please do it on our behalf? Take it to Ganga and put it in Ganga. Now he takes the urn, the pot. He's coming back to Rishikesh. He's thinking, what life is this? My best friend Shroff. I've traveled with him to Rishikesh many times in the same train, and we have sat together, we have had food, we had discussion, we wrote articles, we talked, we had good time. And now my friend is just a few ashes and a few bones. And that too, he's inside this pot. This is all life is? Is this all life? There's no Shroff. What's the difference between me and him? Why am I alive? He has a wife, he has kids, he has parents, he has a job, he has a good status. But he's just ashes and a few bones. And once I put this in the Ganga, he's gone. That's it. What is life? himself also, I must be strong. I must be like this rounded doll, which oscillates but still comes back to its equilibrium. It does not fall. I have to be like that. Then after putting the asti, he goes back to Shivanandaji and says, I have lots of questions now. What is this life? You have not told me anything. My friend died. Shraf is gone. And why am I alive? Can you answer this question? This, how this Balin got transformed into what he became. There's a big, like Yaksha Prashna, there's a big book written about the questions and answers that he had and how Shivanandaji answered. He listened to him. Balan, how many years are you going to keep asking questions? You'll keep on asking questions all your life? You did it when you were young. You continue to do it. When will you start asking questions to yourself? When will you look inside yourself and find an answer to the questions that you have? How many times you're going to ask outsiders? Why don't you ask yourself? When will these questions change into quest? Quest, Balan, quest. Go inside. Seek inside. See inside. Come up with the answer. And he walked away. Quest. That evening, Swamiji said, Balan, come and speak. Give me a discourse. Give me a talk. It could be anything that you want. It could be your travel to Delhi, travel to Rishikesh, or your stay in my ashram. Whatever you want to speak on, come, speak. Balan went and stood. I came to, felt like tongue-tied. He cannot even speak a word. Swamiji laughed at him. What is this, Balan? I thought you were a good orator. You can't even speak on a given subject. I'll give you a second chance, okay? Tonight, today evening, you're going to speak on Shreyas and Prayas. Prepare yourself and come. Me talking? He came back and he prepared. He gave his first spiritual talk. Shreyas and Prayas. Shreyas is what good to Atman. Prayas is what good to senses. Which is better? As he gave talk, as he was talking the difference between the Shreyas and Prayas, he started going inward. Swamiji had said, not questions, quest. No external, internal. That was the first lecture that he gave. He came back to Delhi, but he could not stay in Delhi for long. 1948, he came back to Rishikesh. And he said, I quit Delhi and I'm going to stay here at Divine Life Society in Rishikesh. Fortunately, he met another of his cousin, Bhaskara Menon, who had just recently took up sannyasa under Shivanandaji. He met up with him and he said, Balan, you're a journalist. I'm going to Chardham Yatra. Yamunotri, Gangotri, Badrinath, Kedarnath on foot. You're a journalist. Come on, let's go. Accompany me. So he walked. They walked those days. No vehicle, nothing. They have to walk. They walked and walked and walked and walked. It is said that the roads were so treacherous, and they were walking. They were walking, and finally Balan's, the sandals that he bought in Delhi was broken too. Where in that forest you're going to find a mochi, a shoe cobbler, to mend his shoes? He had to throw it away and walk barefoot, just like his cousin, who's a Swamiji now. They walked and they crossed Uttarakashi, and then they came to Tapovanji's ashram for the first time. Tapovanji was staying in a small hut. He saw him, he met him, and then he proceeded and they sat around for meditation near Ganga. The serene atmosphere of holy Ganga flowing, full of greenery, there at Tapovanji's ashram, and the whole atmosphere and the meditation. Balan felt that bliss. Then they went up to Badrinath, Kedarnath. Actually, his cousin, he finished his yatra and he went away. Balan stayed back for a month more in Badrinath. He wanted to meet all the sadhus and sannyasis, Swamijis over there, and talk to them. He said, my path is clear. I'm ready to renounce. I want to take sannyas. He came back. He told Shivananda Maharaj, I want to take sannyas. Shivanandaji knew it right from day one. He said, write a letter to your father and take his permission. So Balan wrote a letter to his father and he gave permission. Though he was surprised. How were Balan becoming a sannyasi? The one who would comb hair and one who was stylish and with a silk shirt. And that too was sannyasi? The one who could not even sit for bhajan for few minutes, and him? He said, God's wish, so be it. So he gave permission. On 25th February 1949, he stood in freezing water of Ganga along with other 4 young people. He took celestial everything I renounce. He got a new life, a new name as Swami Chinmayananda Saraswati. Chinmayananda means filled with the bliss of pure consciousness, pure knowledge. His old life faded. It did not exist anymore. He started studying the scriptures, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, everything, day in and day out. Even though he studied and studied and studied, he told Swamiji, Swamiji, there's something missing. I'm unable to understand exactly what our ancestors meant, what our ancestors said. I'm unable to grasp it. Shivanandaji said, then you must go to Tapovan Maharaj. Become a student there. He is master of all jnana yogas. He is the master of scriptures. He is master of Sanskrit. Go and become a student. Go to Uttarakashi. Again, he started now as a Swamiji. He started walking. It was a treacherous road again. Very difficult, very, very difficult. But he walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. Finally reached Tapovanji's ashram. There, Tapovanji Maharaj said, what? You want to become student under me? Who told you? Shivanandaji said it. I took sannyasa. I'm Chinmayananda Saraswati now. And where is the letter? Where is the proof that Shivanandaji told you that you are going to be my student? Where is the proof? Where is the documentation? Documentation? He never gave me anything. Go back. Go back and go get a letter. Go back? Yes, go back and get the letter. He looked at him. He knew inside his heart, Tapovanji Maharaj is the solution for him. He is my guru, but he is not accepting me. He's telling me to go away. Tapovanji said, I told you, why are you standing here? Go. Came down. He decided, he is my guru. I will do anything. He walked all the way back to Shivanandaji Maharaj. He said, my guru wants a letter from you. Please give me that letter. He wrote the letter and he gave it. But I have a question. Palan, quest, no question. Oh, sorry. Chinmaya, no question. Quest. Quest. But still, why? If you knew that he was going to ask me to come down, all the way I went up, and all the way I came down, and why you did not give me the letter before? He said, Chinmaya, quest again. Tapovanji Maharaj is a Gyani. He wants to test you. He wants to know how much you're dedicated. How much are you disciplined and determined to become his student? He's testing you. A real guru is not concerned about your pleasure or pain, Balan, Chinmaya. He's not concerned about your pain or your pleasures. He only is bothered or concerned about your spiritual growth, your spiritual readiness, and your commitment to it. Take the letter, go back. He took the letter. He went all the way back again to Tapovanji. He did not even open the letter or not. Oh, letter, you brought it? Keep it there. You want to become my student? I still have condition. The condition is, I will teach only once. Number 2, I need your full attention. Number 3, no notes taking, everything up here. Number 4, I'll ask you a question. If you cannot answer it, you are out. Are you agreeable to all these conditions? If yes, tomorrow morning, go bathe at 3 a.m. in that cold water. Come up at 4 o'clock. Come back up here. So he said, the person who is disciplined is a disciple. The person who is disciplined is a disciple. So I must be disciplined. There was no place for Chinmaya to stay there. Tapovan Maharaj himself was staying in a small hut and just enough for him to lie down with a stone as a pillow. That's all. Guru is not going to give you accommodation, all these rooms, bathroom, this living. No, you're on your own. Food, you're on your own. 3,000 feet above his ashram is there. Next day morning, early morning, 4 o'clock, he went at 3 o'clock, he took in the freezing Himalayas, freezing water, he took bath, and then he came up and the committed study began. Tapovanji said, Chinmaya, you will be in charge of cleaning the ashram. Next day, Chinmaya, we don't have vegetables for food to grow a garden here. Swamiji, Guruji, there is no water here to grow the vegetable. Why? There. Ganga is flowing down there, down the hill. Go up there and bring the water. Every day he has to go down and bring the water up for the vegetable garden. Chinmaya, make rotis. Today we got some flour, wheat flour. Make some rotis. So he has to do all the chores in the ashram. And he would make a hot cup of tea early in the morning at 4 o'clock. The 4 o'clock also there is, it's still the sun is not up, it's freezing cold. He would come and wake the Guru up with a hot cup of tea in his hand and sit there, because he will say only once and you have to be attentive and grasp everything, because if you ask a question and if you don't answer, you're gone, you're reserved to leave. So there were not many students at all for Tapovanji, because everybody would come and then everybody would leave. And one day somebody brought a saffron cloth for Guruji. He said, Chinmaya, go and wash this and come. Again, he went down, he washed it, and he brought, okay, put it for drying. He put it on the bush for drying. Okay, if it must be dry, bring it back. And when he brought it back, it was torn. Whether the cloth, when given, was torn, or when it was on the bush, it was torn, whatever. Guruji got very angry on him. Chinmaya, what is this? You have torn. You're jealous. There's a big fight. And then Chinmaya wanted to leave right away. What is this man? I did not even tell. He's telling a lie. He's telling his Guru. He's telling a lie. But I did not tear. I did not do. I did everything properly. But still I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Then again, his co-person said, Chinmaya, remember Shivanandaji's words. He's testing you. He's testing you. Went on. There's so much to talk about his interaction with Shivanandaji. There's so much to talk about his interactions with Tapovanji Maharaj. Anyway, the scripture studies continued. And once he completed all the scriptures, he told Shivanandaji, he told his Tapovanji Maharaj, I feel this urge that people have not understood the scriptures the way that you have taught me, the way I have understood from you. Now this truth, this eternal truth, this scripture, I must go down to the plains and teach the people the real way. What is the point that you taught everything? All these things, jnanam, is a knowledge that has been earned, but all of them are staying in Himalayas. So, this spiritual enlightenment, you keep it for yourself, Guruji? No, I feel whatever I have learned from you, I must give it. I must teach people. I must give it to people about this eternal truth. Tapovanji said, Chinmaya, I know you have traveled India before, but now, as a sannyasi, I want you to go down the plains, tour India, and see. Then you come back, then we'll talk. So now, as the Swamiji, he started traveling. It was not an easy travel. Now he's a sannyasi. The mockery, the hunger, the hardship was too much. People did not believe Swamijis. People did not believe sadhus. They have to do the uncha vritti, that is the bhiksha vritti. It's called uncha vritti. They have to take the bhiksha, and for them to have, if they go for bhiksha, they will say, what is this, go and work, become a coolie or something, what is this? You're coming and begging for food here. Go out. There was hunger. Life was very hard. And people were mocking. Chinmaya felt in his heart, there's so much of spiritual decline. There is a degradation. People are not proud of their scriptures. Our own Hindus are not proud of their scriptures. They are looking down. They are looking down on themselves. How am I going to make them look up and be proud? He went back and he said, Guruji, I am determined, more determined than before. All the hardship, all this mockery, hunger, everything has made me think more and more. There is a need in the plains, not on the Himalayas. The people have to become proud. Our Hindus are forgetting their own culture, their own scriptures. They are not proud of what they have. Guruji, I'm going down. He gave permission. In his trunk, he took a few dhotis, and he had only 25 paisa in his pocket. He came down to Pune. He came down and he went to a Ganesha temple there, and he introduced himself to the priest. I am Chinmayananda Swamiji. I have come from Himalayas and I would like to teach. I would like to talk about Vedanta, Upanishad. This Swamiji, nobody will come, nobody is interested. Nobody is interested in those things. Those days, the scriptures were only learned and taught by the priests. All the priests' class, when they heard this young radical Swami has come from Himalayas and is going to talk about our holy scriptures into public, that is such an insult. It should be only told by holy people, by the priest class. And he is going to talk in public, and that too in a foreigner's language, that too in English. Everyone boycotted. Nobody was ready to receive him. Even the people who knew English, they were so-called forward and upper class. They were busy in clubs. They never wanted to follow the Indian culture. They looked down upon our scriptures. They don't want to come, and he's going to talk in English. He said, and one Mrs. Sushila Mudaliar, who was present, who came to the temple that day, she said, Swamiji, by the way, where are you staying? And Chinmaya said, well, I'm staying under a multi-star hotel. Huh? In Pune, multi-star? He said, yeah, under the sky. So when Nanda Sahib, who was also present in the temple, he said, no, Swamiji, come and stay with us. So next day, his talk was going to be there. So what did he do? He wrote the pamphlets. Remember, he was very good at writing pamphlets. He wrote the flyer by himself. And then, if you remember in those days when movie theaters were there and they have to say this movie is going to come, they'll go on the microphone and the speaker and then they will throw papers like this. This movie is going to be shown that way, but he did not have a car or something. He went on a bicycle. The 25 paisa that he had, he rented a bicycle and then he was going round. He wrote the flyers himself. A Hindu Swami is going to talk to Hindus in a Hindu temple about how to be a Hindu. This he wrote on his pamphlet on the bicycle. There's no loudspeaker or anything. He's shouting on the street. A Hindu Swami is talking tomorrow at a Hindu temple about how to be a Hindu. All Hindus, please come, please come. Of course, Sushila Mudaliar was there. The temple priest, he had to be there. And Nanda, Nanda Sahib, because he was staying with him, so he was there. 4 more people who came to do Archana for Ganesha. They were sitting. Only 7 people came and sat around him. He started talking. Wow! That was just the wow. He took out his famous BMI chart and he started talking. My fellow devotees, I am going to do this Jnana Yajnas. In olden days, the Jnana Yajnas, the Yajnas were held. They were fire sacrifices meant to please the God. But our fire yajnas, our yajnas are different. We are going to eradicate the ignorance by learning in the fire of knowledge. As he started talking, people were spelled down. His clarity of thoughts, the way he communicated, the news started spreading. People started pouring in. And the devotees who came in the front, they started writing down what he taught. And they started distributing to people who did not come. You want to take to the people who were not capable, could not come? Please take, this is the information he gave. This is the information. So he gave. The devotees, the numbers grew. and grew and grew. And for 41 days, he did the relay of Bhagavan's mantram in a relay continuously. Jnana Yajna was held. Now Shivanandaji heard about his Jnana Yajnas. He wrote a letter to him. Chinmaya, I'm very pleased that you are doing this Jnana Yajnas. Continue to roar like Vivekananda and make these yajnas shorter and practical so that more and more people attend. He went again back to Tapovanji Maharaj, took his blessings, came to Shivanandaji Maharaj, took his blessings, went to Kerala, took his father's, he met his father, and then he went to Madras. When he went to Madras, the devotees there, they had gathered, and then they were looking for an auditorium where they can hold the Jnana Yajnas. And nobody was ready to give the auditorium to him. There was only one place that was vacant and available. They said, Swamiji, but that is a haunted house. Swamiji, there are some ghosts over there. But and it belongs to a Muslim, so no one does anything over there. He said, I'll take it. I'll do it over there. Because I know how to deal with the ghosts. I'll make the ghosts also to sit down. Don't worry about it. Take it. He started talking about Bhagavad Gita. The way he gave examples, practical examples relating to the life, taking examples from Bhagavad Gita. People started relating to it. And now study groups started forming. The news spread. People were making small groups. They are studying the scriptures and they were discussing, they're sharing the knowledge. Now, the same people from Madras, when he was back in Shivanandaji's ashram, they wrote he was doing a camp, they wrote a letter to him and they said, Swamiji, we are starting an organization called as Chinmaya Mission. We want your permission, Swamiji. He said, listen, I am a Swamiji. Don't keep my name. I don't come there to be institutionalized. I have to be moving. I am not going to be sitting there. Don't institutionalize me. They said, Swamiji, who said it is your name? Chinmaya means seekers of knowledge. We are all seekers of knowledge. So we are keeping the mission as Chinmaya Mission, Swamiji. Okay. There goes. Chinmaya Mission was started in 1953. Now, Chinmayaji started thinking, yes, I have to do something for the youth, for children, for women, for elders. I must do something. In 1955, he told one Mrs. Janaki Seth in Delhi, collect all the children and teach bhajans, teach something, tell them stories. He just told them over the phone, and Mrs. Janaki Seth had about, in her colony apartment, she had about 35 children. She collected all of them and then she started teaching bhajans and some stories. And she said, okay, at the end, like a school day, we are going to do a dance performance. So children were all excited. Now instead of 35 children, it became 70 children. So now she does not have in her courtyard or something to do the activities. She started doing it in the park. So all the 70 children would gather, and now the dance day came. She sent about 200 invitations to the parents. 3,000 people gathered, and it was a big success. And Chinmayaji called it as Children Well-Being Center, CWC, Children Well-Being Center. Listening to this in Ernakulam, one Mrs. Janaki Menon, she took the direction from Swamiji and she started Chinmaya Well-Being Center. That again became very successful. Now word of mouth spread. So Chennai, here, there, the Chinmaya Well-Being Centers were formed for children. Swamiji loved, Gurudev loved children a lot. And he said, children are our future. They are the builders of the humanity. Tell them stories to inspire them. Teach them bhajans. And this Chinmaya Well-Being Centers were spreading. Now they all sat down together and they formalized what they need to teach under the guidance of Gurudev. And now they changed their name to Bal Vihar, 1957. Here are our Bal Vihar children.
Chinmaya Vihar layega naveenta.
Clap for them. Chinmaya Vihar
layega ekta.
layega ekta.
भाजपा के साथ हम एक राग गाएंगे, तन एक प्राण एक भाव एक गाएंगे। चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा नवीनता, चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा एकता। धर्म प्रेम की ज्योत को जलाएंगे, विनम्रता मनुष्यता सहिष्णुता सिखाएंगे। चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा नवीनता, चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा एकता। भक्ति ज्ञान श्रद्धा के महत्व को बचाएंगे, विद्युत गति से हम परिवर्तन लाएंगे। चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा नवीनता, चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा एकता। मुस्कुराते रहो सदा चंद्र को हम गाएंगे, भारतीय संस्कृति को खूब हम सजाएंगे। चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा नवीनता, चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा एकता। चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा नवीनता, चिन्मया बल विहार लाएगा एकता।
Gurudev said, teach the children there is an unseen hand in every creation that is there. That unseen hand is none other than God. So, after this one child who learned it, this teacher telling, there is an unseen hand, and that is God in every creation. He came back and he told Gurudev, Gurudev, it rained yesterday. There was a sunset I saw. It was so beautiful. It is created by God. And he told the BB teacher, this is what I want. This is. And he told the teachers, give them the courage to live up to our values. We got to look up. We need to teach the children to look up, to have the courage to stand up for our values, for our scriptures, for what we believe in. And one of the BV teacher, I believe, was teaching, we do not beg. Don't beg God. Begging is not good. Don't beg God. Give me this, give me that. Don't beg. So the one child put up the hand and said, teacher, is it okay for him to beg for me for chocolate and me to beg for him for chocolate? Swamiji, Guruji, Gurudev loved the smile on the children. He said, I want the children to be smiling all the time. He told the children, When we smile, everyone will smile. When we frown, everyone will frown. So it's simple. To make everyone happy, we have to be smiling. He said, open the Bal Vihar classes with love, laughter, encouragement, entertainment. He wrote thousands of letters to children to make them smile. There is a whole book on letters to children, and with his own handwritten letters to children, how he has drawn pictures to make the children smile. So, and he also said, always achieve, 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 achieve up to your highest. He loved children, and he also said, you don't have to give too much of information. Whatever for their level of understanding, you give that much of information. He knew how to go down to their level and give that much of information. One time a child asked him, where is God, Guruji? I don't see God. No one has seen God. So how can I believe that I am going to see God when I grow up? Swamiji, Guruji said, listen, you see this beard? You don't have a beard. I have a beard. But do you believe when you grow up, you are going to get your mustache and beard like me? You're going to believe, right? So that is going to come. Same way, when you are calling God all the time, when you are going to call God all the time, when it is the right time, you will see God. Now look at this seed. This seed, do you believe a plant is going to come? Yes. Now inside this seed, branches are going to come, roots are going to come, a tree is going to come, flower is going to come. You see, can you see anything here? You don't, but you believe in it, right? Like that, when you believe, and you call, like the seed, when you put in the right soil, you put right amount of water, right amount of sunlight, you take care of that seed, it will grow into a big tree. In the same way, you got to treat yourself good and read well, listen well, understand well, do all of that, and keep calling God. God will come to you. He would go down to their level. And one Mrs. Sunanda, there are so many things in the book. One Mrs. Sunanda Shastri asked, she was a Bal Vihar teacher, she asked, Guruji, is it okay, these Bal Vihar children, they come only once a week. How much of a change we can bring in them? Is it really beneficial? He said, yes, it will. The children who attend Bal Vihar may have different paths in their life in the future, but make it a point, they are going in the right direction and they will evolve in the right direction. The punctuality, the practice, and the perfection, the 3 P's will be there with the BV children. I guarantee you. That kind of confidence and assurance. 3 P's definitely is going to stay with Bal Vihar children, he said. Now, he wanted to give education, value-based education. So they started Chinmaya Vidyalaya education. Now for youth, he started thinking and he started giving series of talks on the art of man-making. He said, youth are not useless, but they are used less. To give the value of Bhagavad Gita, he started Chinmaya Yuvakendras. Chinmaya Yuvakendras were started. He did not forget women. He said, if women are the seekers of knowledge, the whole family environment will change and the woman will become the guru and the model for the whole family. Then they don't have to come and listen to Swamiji like me anymore, he said. And Chinmaya Devi groups were started in 1958. He did not forget the elderly. He said, what we have is a God's gift, but what you do with it is your gift to God. What a beautiful statement. He started Chinmaya Vanaprastha Samsthan, where he gave comprehensive vision and an opportunity to do the selfless service. Whole nation, all addressing all these many Chinmaya centers began. He knew he would win the whole nation given time. In 1955, the Jnana Yajna held in Delhi was presided over by our President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. It's a big thing. Sandipani Sadhanalaya was started to train teachers. Now, again he said, now I must take this Vedanta, our scriptures, the information about the eternal truth abroad. He started traveling abroad. The mission centers were increasing and he gave the motto. What was the motto of the Chinmaya mission? Give maximum happiness to maximum number of people for the maximum amount of time. With that motto, he started traveling abroad and about 300 centers started. Teaching of Vedanta was the main object, but they also included various cultural, spiritual, and community service projects all over. And they went with a good pledge for the Chinmaya mission. And they started publishing, as Swamiji wrote, lots and lots of commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, all the books they need to print it out. So the publication trust was started in 1961 in Hyderabad. And of course, now it is the #1 publication organization for the whole world. Now for the scriptures, the Vedantic scriptures, and this publication organization in the United States is managed by our own Swamiji, Siddhanandaji. The whole of United States Publication Trust lies here in this center. In 1962, one Mr. Apte and one Mr. M.S. Golwalkar, they came to Swamiji in Sandipani Sadhanalaya, and they talked about the degradation of the Hindus and to put all the Hindus under one banner. They started Vishwa Hindu Parishad under Swamiji as the president.
Vishwa Hindu Parishad,
Vishwa
Hindu Parishad, Vishwa Hindu
all hands go up, please. Like this. Vishwa,
Hindu Parishad,
do it.
Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita,
Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita.
Rakshita,
Don't be shy.
Rakshati Rakshita,
Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. Dharmo rakshati rakshita. Dharmo rakshati rakshita. Gurudev was for Dharmo rakshati rakshita. Even though after this he did not hold a formal post with VHP, he remained as the advisor. Gurudev always said, Hinduism asks you to adjust your mind to the real situation in life and asks you to make your life a sport rather than a worry. He told everybody, Gita offers a solution to all problems of humanity. It will bring a greater stability of mind, a greater harmony in our personal and social life. In 1965, he set up on a global tour. He visited 12 countries, USA, Switzerland, West Indies, Thailand, South Africa, Mauritius, Malaysia, all faiths, not only just Hindus. Most of his talks were held in churches. People gathered in churches everywhere in all these 12 countries to listen to him. And in United States, all the Ivy League universities, MIT, Stanford, Harvard, they invited him to give lectures. He traveled 18 hours of the day and at the 3 a.m. in the morning, still, the lights you could see. Because he would sit and write letters to the children, letters to the devotees. On a guess, he might have written about 750,000 letters. He said, if I rest, I will. If I rest, I will rust. Comfort comes as a guest and it tries to become the host. And it stays with us and it enslaves us in the end. He said, be careful. But his health was failing. In 1970, he had his first heart attack. The doctor told him to slow down. He did not follow the advice. He continued. In 1975, Chinmaya West in California was started. 1975, the ashram, the Chinmaya West, they built an ashram near Eel River. Swamiji called it as Eel Ganga, where they train teachers. It's like the headquarters, and they conduct retreats and camps and everything. And he also built Siddhabari Ashram in 1978 with a 40 feet Hanuman statue over there. And he called upon all the religious leaders and the different sections of Hinduism. And he told boldly, an idol is a symbol for subtle truth. It could be a cross, it could be a statue, or it could be a stone, but it is a symbol of subtle truth. Increased number of devotees. He said, recognize your enemies. Recognize your enemies. They are the anger and the desire. Take control of them. Once they lost his address book, Swamiji's memory was so excellent. He said, I think I do remember some addresses where you're supposed to send the letter. Write it down. He must have from his memory 250 addresses he dictated from his memory. That sharp was his memory. And he used to be very, very punctual. To all the occasions, they would say, you can set your clock by his arrival time. If he says 6:30, he will be here at 6:30. If he says 7:30 I'm going to talk, 7:30 he's going to talk. You can set your watch. He was very popular for that. In 1980, he had another heart attack. He had to undergo a surgery in Houston, Texas. Still, he did not slow down. People asked, Swamiji, where do you live? At least tell us. He said, I live in airports and train stations. That's it. He continued. He said, my time, everybody's time is marked. So I have to keep doing. In 1989, he started Chinmaya International Foundation in Ernakulam. It is a bridge between East and West, past and present, science and spirituality, pundits and public. It is a research wing of Chinmaya worldwide. In November 1992, he visited 12 universities here, and he was the guest speaker in the United Nations. In July 1993, he came to New Jersey and he was addressing a meeting. He asked Swami Chinmayananda to get up, to come and sit down. Then he said, now you all know who is going to take after me, who is going to take care of my work from now on. Swami Chinmayananda. And someone asked Chinmayananda, oh, you're going to replace Gurudev? He said, I am not in his shoes. I am at his feet. I am like a Hanuman for Ram. Wow, 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 wow.
दुनिया चली रे श्री राम के बिना, राम जी चले ना हनुमान के बिना। दुनिया चले न श्री राम के बिना, राम जी चले ना हनुमान के बिना। दुनिया चले न श्री राम के बिना, ना हनुमान के बिना। ओ दुनिया चले न श्री राम के बिना, राम जी चले ना हनुमान के बिना। दुनिया चले न श्री राम के बिना, ना हनुमान के बिना। जब से रामायण पढ़ती है, जब से रामायण पढ़ती
to fulfill his master's vision. Gurudev worked 42 years to rebuild India inch by inch, soul by soul. 1993, there was a camp at Washington, youth camp. He came to attend the youth camp. After the youth camp, he went to California, Southern California, July 26th. He complained of chest pain and shortness of breath. Immediately he was rushed to hospital in San Diego. July 29th, he had a multiple bypass surgeries. He was not responding. He was put on breathing machine, life support system. From Divine Life Society, Swamiji arrived, Swami Chidananda to San Diego. All devotees, including Sri Apparao, who came there, and all devotees and all the Swamijis present over here, they have come in the gold room. Gurudev has been sedated heavily, and Swami Chidananda arrived, and he said, "Let me have my private moment with Gurudev." Swami Chidananda went inside. After half an hour, he came out. He said, "I have invoked in the ICU room Swami Tapovan Maharaj and Swami Shivanandaji. They are taking care of Gurudev." Outside, Akhanda Mrityunjay Jap was going on. They asked Swamiji, "Shall we take away the support system?" He's not responding. Swami Chidananda said, "Let the nature take its own course. I will be reaching Washington tomorrow. By then, he will go." August 3rd, 5:45 p.m., he attained Mahasamadhi.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Mama Swami Smarana, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Mama Swami Smarana, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Mama Swami Smarana, Hari Om.
मम स्वामी स्मरण हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम मम स्वामी स्मरण हरि ओम
हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
August 7th, by British Airways, Gurudev's body was brought to Delhi. Thousands and thousands of people gathered, dignitaries, and people from the political world. Looked like almost the whole world was halting to give him respect and salute. And it was time to take him to Siddhbari. His body in the lotus posture crossed the Hanuman statue and brought inside and kept in the Kamala hall. Thousands of devotees, including our Swami Siddhanandaji, were present. Everyone's heart was crying, was already missing him. Daya karo, kripa karo.
Gurudev गीता प्रचारक शरण संरक्षक अज्ञान नाशक चिन्मया आत्म अज्ञान नाशक चिन्मया दया करो
गुरुदेव,
देवा दया
दया करो गुरुदेव।
देवा दरस दिखाओ ना तरसाओ दरस दिखाओ ना तरसाओ शरण में ले लो मुझे चिन्मया अपनी शरण में ले लो मुझे चिन्मया
शरण में ले लो।
दया करो गुरुदेवा दया
दया करो गुरुदेव।
गुरुदेवा दया करो गुरुदेवा दया करो गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा
His body was taken to the rose garden which he loved, with lots of salt and camphor filled. When everybody was chanting Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, his body was lowered slowly. He was late for eternal rest.
समस्त जन कल्याणी निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं सद्गुरुं सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
On behalf of our team, we would like to thank Shri Siddhananda Swamiji for this wonderful opportunity in the serene atmosphere, full of positive energy, positive vibrations. Siddhanandaji, known for his total simplicity, who has been with Chinmaya for more than 50 years. As simple as he is, as humble as he is, no one can gauge the amount of responsibility that he has taking on his shoulders, not only all the centers in Pennsylvania, but also the whole publication trust work on his shoulders. Not only takes care of the publication trust, he also takes care of Bal Vihar, Satsang, study group, Bhajan Sandhya. Because of his such a dynamism, Pennsylvania has seen so many centers just in Pennsylvania itself. An artist, a singer by himself, by producing so many CDs to his credit. Siddhanandaji continues to support and inspire devotees, and he encourages as small artists as us too. Him being a big artist, still he's so humble, and he gives such a lot of encouragement to us. First time when we did this katha in Vrindavan, New Jersey, in front of Swami Shantanandaji, Siddhanandaji was present. To tell the truth, as a person who is sitting and speaking here, we need a Kendra Bindu. Of course, the serene atmosphere, I can see Gurudev ji, Shiv ji, Krishna ji, but still I need a light there in Vrindavan. I used to keep looking at him as a Kendra Bindu, because the amount of enthusiasm, encouragement that he was showing, it made us, okay, people are listening. Because he was representing the 250 audience that were present in Vrindavan. Siddhanandaji actually represented, in my eyes, he represented the whole auditorium, because I kept looking at him for encouragement, for the energy. Today too. And as for an artist, I speak for all, as an artist, what we need is this. An encouragement to keep us to do more, to do better. Every time we do better. Once again, on my team, I would like to thank him. And despite the weather not being so bright and cloudy, all of you gave your valuable time for us. On our behalf, we thank you all. I do not have to introduce my co-artists. You have seen their skills and capabilities, but still, on Deepta ji, today, special thanks goes to her, because normally in our team, Vani Deepak ji is the one who sings all the time. Today on emergency, she had to fly to India today. Deepta ji stepped up. We didn't know what to do because she was the main singer and Deepta ji was going to support. We had about 15 songs, if you noticed. So we didn't know how we are going to do the program without a singer. Deepta ji stepped up and she said, I will do it. Don't worry. Thank you to Deepta ji. And our Shweta on violin. It's a beautiful violin and we miss her. She used to play. She used to be in New Jersey before, but now since she lives, she's a concert level violinist. Accompanies all great artists who come from India. Thank you for agreeing to play. And you saw Kananji playing so many things at a time to give all the sound effects that is needed for each situation. And for Kananji, I just don't have to say, I just look at him, he knows from my look what I want. So he immediately got it. I think at one point of time, I knew he was not, his hands were not on the tabla. I'm like, something is coming up, that Ramana Maharshi, that effect has to come. So he used to play and he's like, he's watching me. I'm like, no, his fingers have to be on the tabla. I'm like, I keep looking at him, but then he's looking at me and oh, he got it. So I'm sure no one noticed it. Yeah. So he immediately got it. And as we speak about the perfection, punctuality, and what's the other P now? Practice. For all the P's, I can owe it to Jivanji. Whether it is in-person practice, we all do only one time together practice. That's all. Today, over there, in the room just before coming here, we all got together once. Whether it is phone practice or whether it is in-person practice, all practices, he practices on his own, he's punctual for the time, and he's perfect while playing. So all peace goes to him. I don't have to say much about our incredible smile. Were they all smiling? Can you stand up? Can you stand up? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. My only condition was all the children should smile. Because Gurudev always said children should smile. I said whether you're singing, whether you're not singing, you have to be smiling. I hope they did. Did they? Yes. They did a wonderful, wonderful job. And thank you to Bal Vihar children and Bal Vihar teachers who, if they are present. And thank you for training these teachers. I know Deepta took the lead, but thank you all once again.
Thank you, Veena-ji and team, for that fantastic experience. As with such powerful narration, we felt the story happening right in front of our eyes. And I'm sure that Gurudev was on stage with you today. Thank you once again. Can we hear another round of applause? Thank you. Now I request our Swamiji to please come up on stage. And to the audience, I want to remind you that there is snacks available as you leave for purchase, and there are volunteers there to collect donations if you'd like to make some. Thank you.
Hari Om. So Veena, you made us all cry. I think this was one of the best program ever in our Madhuvan. Last 30 years, here in US, this is the best program I have seen. And nobody ever can talk more than this about Gurudev. You all agree? That is why she got the name Veena. Veena means vak, that Saraswati's instrument. From that Saraswati's Veena, it is pouring the knowledge. See, no paper, nothing. Just by heart everything. And 2.5 hours. Who can do that? Even we cannot do that. Remembering all the dates, the incidents, the time, everything. So the program was fantastic. And Jeevan, she gave the Jiva for the program. And our Kannan is Sri Krishna, he was sitting here. And Shweta, the beautiful violin program. And everything, and all the children. Then our own Deepta gave the beautiful singing. And the children. All the children, because there is no space, that's why we selected only 4 kids to come to the stage. And whoever, see how much I begged yesterday to our own people. How much I begged. You remember? And from evening 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I was keep calling people, please come. See, as she said, any artist, they want crowd. They want people to watch. Otherwise, see, even Zoom session or even if I take a class, I cannot talk to the wall and talk. So I need people. Just like that, I was begging people, please come. So people, when I call them, what excuse they give? Swamiji, I had to go for a birthday party for my little child. Is it an excuse? See, opportunities will come and go, but you don't know how to take it. And so many, everybody was telling one excuse. Excuse everybody can, but you are missing the boat. So just come and listen what Gurudev, even that movie on the quest, that this is better than that movie, I tell you. As somebody is talking about Gurudev, and without missing any point, not even one single point, everything she referred a lot of, this is not one day's work, so many 1 year work. She go through all the books, she go through every page and everything. She go through and make points and wherever she can grasp the material, all those materials collected together and she put up this program. And so we must do it again. She does lot of Harikathas. Harikatha is one of the main culture in our Hinduism in olden times. In all the temples, we used to have Harikatha. So once again, thanks to I want Madhuvan to come because this entire program is by our own senior centers, senior members of the Chinmaya.
Will now facilitate the artist, Srimati Veena Mohan.
Move this side. Can you remove that box?
Madhuvan Gurudev. Shweta Narasimhan. Shreya. Madhuvan. Chinmaya.
Center ba, center. Makla. Center, center.
And all of you can come here, we take a group photo. Come.